Last time on our story, Kang-chi discovered he had 3 impossible children who'd been genetically enhanced before birth. His trusted assistant Lee Soyeon was revealed as a traitor, orchestrating everything. A child was kidnapped from his building in seconds, and he learned his children were created as weapons with abilities about to manifest. He has 48 hours to choose between his company and his children's lives. But the clock isn't counting down to a choice, it's counting down to an awakening. And when his children's true capabilities emerge, the real question won't be who's hunting them. It'll be who can possibly stop them. The emergency stairwell of PM Innovations smelled like smoke and fear. Kang-chi moved down the concrete steps with Sarah and the triplets pressed close behind him. Around them, employees rushed past in controlled panic, their faces painted red by emergency lighting. "Keep moving," Kang-chi said, his hand firm on Emeka's shoulder. "Don't stop." But Emeka had already stopped, staring at the ceiling with unfocused eyes. Kang-chi's stomach dropped. He'd seen this expression on his lead developer when processing complex code. But she was 32. Emeka was 6. "Emeka, we need to move." "They're listening," Emeka whispered. Through the ventilation, 3 devices, floors 42, 37, and 29, broadcasting on 4.7 gigahertz. I can hear the electrical current moving through the wires. Kang-chi felt ice flood his veins. "You can hear radio frequencies?" "Can't everyone?" Emeka blinked, genuinely confused. "No," Sarah breathed. "Baby, people can't hear that." Before Kang-chi could process this, Ngozi spoke, her voice distant. 47 people in this stairwell, 18 carrying phones, 6 have weapons. The man 3 floors up has a gun in an ankle holster. Heart rate 143 beats per minute. He's terrified. Kang-chi stared at his daughter. "You can hear heartbeats from 3 floors away." "All of them," Ngozi said. "Everyone has their own rhythm. Yours is 98. You're scared but hiding it. Mum's is 127. She's terrified and angry. And there are 3 people not moving. Floor 37, just standing. Their hearts are too slow. 50 beats per minute, synchronized. That's not normal." "Those are the enhanced ones," Chukwu said quietly. "The lady taught us to recognize them. They're modified like us, but different. Older, less sophisticated. They don't feel fear like normal people." Kang-chi felt reality sliding. "How long have you known about this?" "Since always," Emeka said. "We thought it was normal. The lady told us we were special, but we didn't understand until a few months ago when we realized other kids couldn't hear what we could. Or remember everything perfectly," Chukwu added. "Every conversation, every face, every detail. Nothing fades. Ever." Sarah had gone pale. "What did they do to my babies?" she whispered, her voice breaking. Kang-chi's phone buzzed, a video file from an unknown sender. Against every instinct, he opened it. The video showed a medical facility, sterile white walls, and in the center Sarah, 7 years younger, visibly pregnant, completely unconscious. Kang-chi felt Sarah lean over his shoulder, heard her sharp gasp. A clinical voice narrated, "Subject Norsu, Sarah, 23 weeks pregnant with triplets. Paternal DNA confirmed as Kang-chi. Target Alpha. Beginning enhancement protocol Theta 7. Neural pathway optimization, sensory amplification, cognitive acceleration, memory crystallization. Subjects will retain normal appearance but demonstrate elevated capabilities across multiple domains." The video showed needles, so many needles. Injections into Sarah's abdomen guided by ultrasound, each targeted a specific fetus. Sarah remained unconscious, unaware. "Estimated manifestation," the voice continued. "Age 4 to 6. Full activation by age 10 to 12. Subjects will be unaware initially, perceiving abilities as normal. Natural integration produces superior results." The video showed Sarah waking, groggy. A doctor explaining low blood pressure. "Perfectly normal. Here are vitamins. Everything is fine." The video ended. Sarah was shaking so hard Kang-chi thought she might collapse. Tears streamed down her face, but her expression was pure rage. "I didn't know," she said, voice breaking. "There was a clinic. Free prenatal care. I went because I couldn't afford checkups. They said I fainted. Low blood pressure. I woke up hours later feeling groggy. They gave me vitamins, said the babies were perfect." "Those weren't vitamins," Kang-chi said grimly. "Continuation of the enhancements." Sarah's hands balled into fists. "When I find who did this," she said, voice deadly calm, "who violated me, who turned my babies into experiments, I'm going to make them regret being born." The stairwell door above burst open, heavy footsteps, multiple people, military precision. Kang-chi grabbed them, moving faster. "How many?" he asked Ngozi. "4. All armed, all enhanced. Heart rate steady at 52. They're not rushing because they know where we're going." "Floor 33, Kang-chi said, pulling open the door. The hallway beyond was dark, emergency lighting creating red pools. "This way." They moved quickly. Kang-chi's mind raced through impossible options. Every path led to the same place, his children in enemy hands. "Kang-chi," Chukwu said suddenly, voice small and frightened, "can I ask something?" Kang-chi stopped, knelt despite the danger. "Yes." "Do you love us?" Chukwu asked, tears in his eyes, "even knowing what we are?" The question hit like a physical blow. He looked at this child with his eyes, his features. This child he'd met 2 hours ago. This child who was enhanced, modified, hunted. "Yes," Kang-chi said, certainty in his voice surprising him. "I've known you 2 hours, and yes, I love you, all 3 of you." "Even though we're not normal?" Ngozi asked quietly. "Even though," Kang-chi said firmly. "Even though we're weapons?" Emeka whispered. "You're not weapons," Kang-chi said fiercely. "You're children. You're my children. You didn't choose this, and I'm getting you out. I promise." Sarah was crying silently when Kang-chi met her eyes, understanding passed between them. Unity. 7 years erased. They were parents now, fighting together. "That's good," a voice said from darkness ahead, "because you'll need that conviction." Kang-chi pushed the children behind him. A woman stepped into the light. Mid-40s, professional suit now torn and dirty, kind face streaked with blood. She looked exhausted but determined. The children reacted instantly, pressing against their parents with complex emotions, recognition, relief, uncertainty. "Hello, my brilliant children," the woman said warmly despite her injuries. "I'm so sorry it came to this." "You're the lady," Kang-chi said, "the one training them." "Training is ugly," the woman replied, wincing. "I prefer educating, preparing. I've spent 2 years with these children, teaching them to survive, to be ready for when everything went wrong." She looked at them with genuine affection. "They've been my brightest students." "You broke into their home," Sarah said, voice hard and dangerous. "Manipulated my children." "Who the hell are you?" The woman met Sarah's eyes with shame. Someone who made terrible mistakes and spent years trying to fix them. Someone who helped create what your children are and regretted it every day. Someone who's been protecting them. "Do you think it's accident they've stayed hidden 7 years? I've been running interference, misdirecting searches, eliminating threats. Your children had a guardian angel." "That was me." "Why?" Kang-chi demanded. "Why help if you're part of this?" "Because the plan changed," the woman said painfully. "The people who created this, who enhanced these children, they were supposed to wait. The children needed time." But the board grew impatient. Military contracts were too lucrative. They accelerated the timeline. Now she looked at the children with pain. Now they're not ready. "What's coming?" Sarah asked. The woman pulled out a tablet. A timer appeared. 47 hours, 18 minutes, and 42 seconds. "In 47 hours, she said quietly, your children's enhancements fully activate. What they can do now is just foundation. The real modifications are dormant. When they activate fully," she paused, "they'll be the most powerful individuals on Earth. They'll interface with technology directly, control systems with their minds, process information at quantum speeds. They'll become living bridges between human consciousness and digital systems. Assets, Kang Chi said bitterly. You keep calling them powerful, because that's what the organization sees, the woman said sadly. 50 billion in military applications, unlimited espionage potential, infrastructure control, financial systems, defense networks. But I see children, brilliant, scared children who deserve to choose their future. That's why I'm here, to give you a choice. We don't make deals with kidnappers, Sarah spat. Not a kidnapper, an escapee. The woman's voice was urgent. I can get you out. Out of Seoul, out of Korea, safe houses, identities, money. But trust me. And move in 2 minutes before extraction teams arrive. The little girl from the lobby, Kang Chi said suddenly. The one they took. Where is she? The woman's face fell. Alive. Being used as leverage against her parents in government. She'll be released when they cooperate. The organization doesn't hurt children unnecessarily. They just traumatizes them, Sarah finished coldly. Just proves they'll take ours the same way. Yes, the woman admitted, which is why we're out of time. She looked at the children. You trust me, don't you? Emika nodded. She never hurt us. Taught us things that kept us safe, knew about our abilities before we did. She said bad people would come and we needed to be ready. She said, his voice became smaller. She was sorry for what they did before we were born. The woman's eyes were wet, tears tracking through blood. I was part of the original research team, a scientist who designed the enhancement protocol. I helped create what you are. I've spent every day trying to atone. She looked at Kang Chi. I can't undo it, can't give them normal lives, but I can help you survive. That's all I'm offering. A fighting chance. Kang Chi looked at Sarah. She looked back, both terrified, both protective, both out of options. Sarah nodded slightly. It was her decision too. Together. 2 minutes, Kang Chi said. Where? The woman moved to a wall panel, swiped an old keycard. A section clicked open, revealing a narrow maintenance corridor. Sub-basement tunnel, she said. Cold War escape route. Connects to subway system. Most don't know it exists. Go now. I'll seal it and buy time. What about you? Ngozi asked with genuine concern. The woman smiled sadly, touching Ngozi's cheek. I'll be fine, sweetheart. I have my own exit. She knelt, looking at each child. Remember what I taught you. Trust your instincts. Trust each other. Trust your parents. You're not what they made you. You're who you choose to be. She stood, looking at both parents intensely. Keep them safe. Keep them hidden until they're ready. Don't let them fully activate until you understand what it means. Once that happens, everyone will know. Everyone will want them. What happens when they activate? Kang Chi asked. Then they become the most sought-after individuals on the planet, the woman said grimly. Governments, corporations, criminal syndicates. Everyone will hunt them. And, she hesitated, that includes me choosing sides when the time comes. An explosion rocked the building. The lights flickered. Alarms blared. Sprinklers activated. They're clearing floors, the woman said urgently. Creating chaos. Go now! Kang Chi grabbed his family, pulling them into the hidden corridor. The woman began closing the door. Wait, Emeka called. We never knew your name. The woman paused, something maternal crossing her face. Dr. Sarah Chen. And for what it's worth, she looked at each child with love. I'm proud of how brave you've been. I'm sorry I couldn't protect you better. But your parents will. Trust them. The door sealed. Darkness swallowed them. Kang Chi activated his phone's flashlight, revealing narrow corridor. Pipes dripping condensation, crumbling concrete walls, the smell of mold and abandonment. This way, he said. Stay close. Hold hands. They moved through darkness. Behind them muffled chaos, explosions shouting, but here in this forgotten space they were alone, together. A family united by crisis and love. The corridor led deeper, down metal stairs, through spaces unseen for decades, past rusted equipment and sealed rooms, always down, until finally a door, heavy steel, covered in warnings about authorized personnel and radiation hazards. Kang Chi tried the handle. Locked. His keycard did nothing. Too old for modern systems. It's electronic, though, Emeka said, approaching. Old system, but electronic. It has a frequency. I can hear it humming, like a song asking to be changed. What are you doing? Sarah asked worriedly. The lock wants to open, Emeka said distantly. It's tired of being closed. I can hear what it needs. I just have to ask nicely. He placed his hand on the lock, eyes unfocused completely. For 15 seconds. Nothing. Then the lock clicked. The door groaned open, beyond another tunnel. Darker, older, the smell of subway and freedom. Kang Chi stared. You just hacked a lock with your mind. I didn't hack it, Emeka said, looking at his hand strangely. I heard what it wanted and helped it. I can hear electrical signals. They're like voices. I can ask them to do things differently. That's not how technology works, Sarah breathed. That's exactly how it works, Kang Chi said quietly. If you can interface directly with electronic systems, manipulate electromagnetic frequencies, you're not just enhanced, you're something entirely new. The lady said we were bridges, Ngozi said softly, between human and machine, between what was and what's coming. She said we were the future. Or the end of it, Chukwu added, voice small and scared. Depending on who controls us. No one controls you, Kang Chi said fiercely, kneeling to look all three in the eyes. You're not bridges, not weapons, not tools. You're people. You're my children. We decide what happens. We choose. Together. As a family. He pulled the door fully open. Beyond, the tunnel stretched into darkness and toward escape. Toward an uncertain future they could try to control. Let's go. They entered. The door sealed behind them with finality. And, somewhere above, in PM Innovation's control room, Lee Soyeon stood watching thermal imaging show 5 heat signatures disappearing into sub-basement infrastructure. They're using the old Cold War tunnel, she said flatly. The man beside her, expensive suit, boardroom face, nodded. Let them. Subways monitored. Teams at every junction. We'll have them within the hour. If Dr. Chen warned them, Lee Soyeon asked. Then we activate contingency Omega, he said calmly. Chen's usefulness expired. Her sentimentality compromised her. Time to clean up. The children, Lee Soyeon asked, something flickering across her face. Doubt. When they reach activation threshold, the man smiled without warmth. Then we stop being gentle, full retrieval. No warnings, no games. Those children are 50 billion in military applications. Unlimited intelligence potential. We're not losing them because Kang Chi plays protective father. Lee Soyeon nodded, but her eyes stayed on the monitors, showing the family moving through darkness. Sir, she said quietly, what if they activate early? If stress triggers the protocol before we're ready? The man's smile widened hungrily. Then we finally see what 50 billion of genetic engineering really does when pushed. And honestly, Miss Lee, I'm very curious. Aren't you? In the tunnel, Kang Chi led his family through darkness. Behind them, 7 years of conspiracy. Ahead, 47 hours until transformation. Around them, forces closing in. But now, in this moment, they were together. United. A family. And that would have to be enough. Except none of them noticed Chukwu had stopped. His eyes distant, unfocused but different now. Something else happening. Something activating. His hand pressed against the tunnel wall, against electrical conduits feeding power to subway systems and traffic lights and security cameras throughout this section of Seoul. His fingers twitched. Once, twice, 3 times. And without conscious thought, without intention, Chukwu's mind reached out through the electrical grid like testing water with his toes. Just a touch. Just curiosity about what else he could hear, feel, do. Somewhere in Seoul, every traffic light in a 6-block radius changed to green simultaneously. Every security camera within a mile shut off for 3 seconds. Every cell phone in the area received the same text. We are awake. Chukwu blinked. He looked at his hand like it belonged to a stranger. He could still feel it. The connection. The vast network of electronic systems spreading like a web across the entire city. He could hear all of it, see all of it, touch all of it if he wanted. The realization was terrifying and thrilling and overwhelming. He looked at his siblings. Emeka and Ngozi had stopped too, staring at him with identical expressions. Not surprise, recognition, like they'd felt what he did, like something connected between them, something dormant, something waking up. "It's starting," Ngozi whispered, wonder and terror in her voice. Earlier than Dr. Chen predicted, Emeka added, eyes wide with fear and something like excitement. "What's starting?" Sarah demanded, grabbing her children. "What just happened?" But they didn't answer. They were staring at each other. Kang-chi realized with cold certainty his children weren't just enhanced individually. They were connected, networked, 3 minds operating as one when they chose. And whatever was waking up, even they didn't understand yet. "Mom," Chukwu finally said, voice scared and childlike, "I think I just talked to the whole city. I didn't mean to. I wanted to feel the electricity like Emeka does. But then I touched it and the whole grid opened up, like I could see everything, control everything. I got scared and pulled back, but not before." He stopped, tears forming. "Not before I sent a message." "What message?" Kang-chi asked, already knowing it changed everything. Ngozi pulled out her phone with shaking hands. A news alert. Breaking. Mass electronic malfunction across Gangnam district. Traffic systems, security networks, cell phones all affected simultaneously. Authorities investigating possible cyber attack. Below it, a viral screenshot. A text that reached thousands of phones. 3 words that would make the world know something impossible just happened. "We are awake." Kang-chi felt the bottom drop out. The countdown wasn't theoretical anymore. His children's abilities weren't dormant. Something activated. Something announced itself. And now, instead of 47 hours, they had minutes before everyone knew. Before every government, every agency, every organization would know exactly what they were dealing with. The 47 hours wasn't to activation. It was to full manifestation. But activation had just begun. And there was no stopping it. "We need to run," Sarah said, voice tight with terror. "Right now." But Kang-chi looked at his children. These 3 small beings becoming something the world had never seen. At Chukwu's frightened face, Emeka's wondering expression, Ngozi's tears. At his family that existed for 2 hours and was already being torn apart, he made a decision. Not to run, not to hide, but to fight. "Yes," he said, taking Sarah's hand, pulling his children close. "We run, but not to hide. We run to survive long enough to fight back, to find who did this, to make them answer, and to give our children the one thing they've never had. A choice." His phone vibrated. Unknown number. 1 line. "Exit C7, subway maintenance access. 4 minutes before they lock it down. This is Dr. Chen. Last chance. Run." In the control room, alarms blared, screens filled with data, reports flooded about the malfunction. The man in the expensive suit stopped smiling. Because he recognized what happened. The children weren't supposed to activate for 47 more hours. Weren't supposed to be capable of citywide manipulation yet. Weren't supposed to be networked. Something changed. Something accelerated. And for the first time in 7 years, he felt something he hadn't felt in decades. Fear. Because if those 3 children could network, could amplify each other's abilities, could become a hive mind with combined processing power, then at full activation they wouldn't just interface with technology. They could control entire infrastructures simultaneously. Power grids, financial systems, defense networks, communication satellites, everything connected becomes theirs to command. "Get me Dr. Chen," he barked. "Now." "Sir, she's not responding," Lee Soyeon said. "Then find her. Because either she knows why this happened early, Or those children are more powerful than anyone predicted. And if that's true, he looked at her with something between awe and terror. Then we're not dealing with 3 enhanced children anymore. We're dealing with something that could control the world. So what happens next? Will they reach exit C7 before it's sealed? Will Dr. Chen survive? What will happen when the children fully network? Can 3 6-year-olds handle that power? Or will it consume them? Who is the man orchestrating everything? Drop your theories in the comments. If you want to see what happens when these children stop running and start fighting, if you want to know who's really behind this, if you want to witness full activation, then smash that subscribe button now. Hit like if this had you on the edge of your seat. Turn on notifications because episode 3 drops in 3 days and you cannot miss what's coming. The awakening has begun. The countdown is accelerating. Nothing will ever be the same. See you in episode 3, where everything explodes.